Sends a long feed for Courtney. They stayed on side. Shot scores! Mary Otters are the 2002 OHL champions!
The Suburban Magazine is here with John Bartlett, the new play-by-play man for the Montreal Canadiens. John, first of all, if you'd like to say hello to all the Montrealers and tell them how excited you are to be in our city with as the voice of the Habs.
Yeah, well, hi everyone. I'm super excited to be coming here to Montreal, somewhere that I grew up as a youngster, coming to visit family, and so now I get a chance here to live in the city and spend all my time here, so I'm looking forward to it, and we're going to have a lot of fun this year.
What kind of broadcaster can Montrealers expect from you?
I'm going to bring a lot of excitement to the game. We're going to, there's no better building than the Bell Center anywhere in the NHL to watch games, so we're going to relay that excitement back for everyone. You're going to feel it when you're listening at home, and I think I'm somebody that the fans can sort of relate to, and hopefully you'll be able to welcome me into your homes and cars and wherever you want to listen to the games as a guest, and that's something I always treat as respect, that you are allowing me into your home, so hopefully allow me in and we'll have some fun together.
Tell us about your Montreal connection.
My Montreal connection is pretty cool. A couple generations of my family. My grandfather actually had season tickets at the Forum for over 50 years. My first NHL game was at the Montreal Forum with my dad in the same seats that he grew up sitting in. So, that's kind of cool that way for the history of the team. And then the last game I went to the Forum was actually with my grandfather. So we kind of wrapped up 3 generations that way. But I have a ton of family here in Montreal. So even though I didn't grow up in the city, I spent a lot of time here visiting relatives in the summertime and exploring all corners of the city on the metro, and there was a time I could name every metro station in order, as a matter of fact. But so I'm thrilled to be coming to the city and live here, and I think it'll be a lot of fun to get to meet the fans along the way.
Are you prepared for the exhibition season? Have you memorized the schedule yet?
Yeah, I know we have a pretty busy start, 6 games to 7 nights, I think it is, to kick it off. So we're home to Dallas, home to Buffalo, day off, then home and home with Ottawa. Then we have Halifax and Boston. Twice we get the Bruins, and then it's I think there's a Tampa Bay game in there, and then in Quebec City against Tampa Bay. So, and then we start the regular season. We open in Toronto, then we'll go to Winnipeg for the first game against the Jets, and then back home for the home opener against Calgary on Thursday and Colorado on Saturday. So after that, I have to look at the schedule.
All right, you did very, very well. You must have done very well in school. You got a great memory.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but I guess after all those years, you get used to looking at your hockey schedule to know your travel schedule, so you try to memorize as much as you can.
You are familiar, of course, with a lot of Canadians because you got to see the Hamilton Bulldogs play very often.
Yep, I think we got to see the Bulldogs 12 times a year with the Toronto Marlies, so we were very familiar in that little Battle of Ontario in the American Hockey League. To get a chance to see, for instance, players like PK Subban and how they developed. The American Hockey League is such a great league for a lot of teams when it comes to developing their players. So, it's not just going to be who's from Montreal coming up, but there'll be a lot of other teams as well where I'll now get the chance to see some players I've watched progress in the American League and see their careers into the NHL.
What do you say to the fans who say, "Oh, they're bringing in a guy who worked for the Maple Leafs"? What do you say to that?
Well, I'm a Montrealer at heart, so don't worry. I grew up as a Canadiens fan, and don't worry about that. We're gonna have a lot of fun here in Montreal. I'm excited to be here. So, I had a great 6 years in Toronto. I made a lot of friends there, and it was a good time, and I thank everyone and all the fans in Toronto for 6 great years, but now I'm very excited to be here and move forward in Montreal for a long time to come.
So I guess you kept that hidden during your years in Toronto that you were a Montreal Canadiens fan.
Yeah, a few people would know. Occasionally, it would be tricky sometimes if we'd be out watching games on the road, and we'd go somewhere in the States, and can we put the Leaf game on? And I'd always say, can you put the Canadiens game on the second TV? So a few of them knew that. That's why they kind of laughed when they found out that I'd be coming to Montreal, and they knew, they figured, okay, well, he'll be pretty happy with that. We know his true roots.
My final question is, if I were to ask you to do a play-by-play, a choreographed play-by-play, what would you say to me if I asked you to do a Camilleri goal from Gomez and Giunta?
Well, I don't do requests, not like a singer or karaoke or anything like that. And I tell you, tune in because we're going to have a lot of fun on the Team 990. So you get to hear it for real, and hopefully a lot of times this year as well.
Well, John, welcome to Montreal, and we look forward to listening to you this year.
Well, it's great to be here, and I look forward to seeing all the fans, and we'll get things underway. So here we go for a good season.